Yo, what's up? I'm Casey James, and it's all about the NBA playoffs, where a funny thing happened to the Boston Celtics as they were cruising in their first-round matchup. Their engine stalled, and they ran into a roadblock called the Atlanta Hawks. The Lakers are on a roll. They are undefeated, and now that they have the MVP, can anybody beat them? And we've seen a changing of the guards in the Western Conference as both Phoenix and Dallas got knocked out in the first round. I've got all that and so much more coming up right now on Sports Talk Live. The NBA playoffs are always full of surprises, and the biggest surprises come in the first round as Boston, after dominating at home against Atlanta, winning the first two games, and you figured the Hawks would roll over and play dead, right? Wrong, because the Hawks came back, they won 3 of the next 4, forced a Game 7 in Boston, where the Celtics were 14-3 overall in franchise history at home in Game 7s. Well, they remembered that they were the Celtics, and the Hawks realized they were the Hawks, so now they are 15-3 as they put a beat down on Atlanta by 35, winning at 99-64 and moving on to the second round, where they have a much bigger problem than they faced against the Hawks. And I can sum it up in one word: LeBron. Because you ain't got it like LeBron got it, and now the Celtics get the King and the Cavaliers, and that is going to be a serious series of basketball with the Celtics having home court. It starts on Tuesday in Boston, but when it's all said and done, they have to figure out how to stop the King, and most people haven't figured that out yet. That's going to be a great series, the Celtics and the Cavs. The other Eastern Conference series has Detroit leading Orlando 2-0. The Pistons are now playing Piston basketball, getting it done defensively and making clutch shots. They've been to the Eastern Conference Finals 5 years in a row, and they're going to make it 6 because they have too much experience and too much Chauncey Billups and too much Rasheed Wallace for the Orlando Magic, who have a good young team. Dwight Howard is a freak. Superman is a 20-20 waiting to happen, but they just don't have enough experience to go against the Pistons. So I like the Pistons to get to their 6th consecutive Eastern Conference Finals. In the West, it's all about the Lakers, who are undefeated. They swept Denver in the first round. The Nuggets quit on their head coach, George Karl. I'm still trying to figure out why he's pulling an NBA paycheck after the Nuggets have lost for 5 straight years in the first round. 3 of those are under George Karl. And then the Lakers came back over the weekend and won Game 1 of their second round series against the Utah Jazz. The Jazz are good at home, not so good on the road, and they got to figure out a way to slow down Kobe Bryant, who had 38, 21 of 23 from the free throw line. And mad props to Kobe because he's won his first MVP award of his career, because this year, more than any other year, Kobe has figured a way to make his teammates better. He's been the best player in the league for a number of years, but now he's the most valuable, and the Lakers are going to be very difficult to beat in the Western Conference. And the other series has New Orleans leading San Antonio 2-0 because of CP3. Chris Paul is ridiculous. He just ran rings around Tony Parker and the Spurs, averaging over 23 points and 12 assists. And the man who came in second to Kobe for the MVP voting has been the MVP of the playoffs, no doubt, because he is just balling. And the Spurs look like a old, slow team that was out of gas. The defending NBA champions had better figure out something quick, otherwise they'll be going home sooner than they expected in the second round, because they look like they just don't have enough to go against the New Orleans Hornets. But they do go back home to the Alamo Dome, and let's see what they come up with. We've seen the coaching carousel, of course, is in full effect in the NBA. Anytime you get into the playoffs, that's going to happen. Avery Johnson, whose team got beat in the first round 2 straight years, well, it cost him his job as Mark Cuban broke him off. Rick Carlisle looks like he's the front runner to take over in Dallas. And Mike D'Antoni has been allowed to talk to other teams, including the Knicks and the Chicago Bulls, who really want D'Antoni. I think it's all but said and done about him going on from Phoenix to Chicago to coach the Bulls. So the Suns made the deal to get the overweight lover, the big Shactus, Shaquille O'Neal. That didn't work out, and now they need to find a new coach as well. I think the Suns' window of opportunity, along with the Dallas Mavericks, has closed shut. Other coaching news, of course, the Pied Piper of coaching is back on the block. Larry Brown was named new head coach in Charlotte with the Bobcats by the man in Charlotte. Michael Jordan has brought in Larry Brown to replace Sam Vincent, who didn't do a bad job in only 1 year, but Michael wants a big name. Well, there's no bigger name than Larry Brown, who is coaching his 9th NBA team. Can you name the other 8? All right, let's see if we can do it here. New Jersey, Denver, San Antonio, the Clippers, Detroit, the Philadelphia 76ers, the Indiana Pacers, and the New York Knicks have all broke Larry Brown off paychecks, including the Knicks, who he made $30 million to coach a bad team for 1 year. Larry Brown may be the smartest guy in the NBA. Well, now Michael Jordan's his boss, and I think we'll see a clash of egos down there for sure. The over-under on how long he lasts in Charlotte, I say 2.5 years, and take the under. And of course, the biggest coaching blunder happened in New York, where Isaiah Thomas, you knew when Donnie Walsh came in that Isaiah's days were numbered. Well, not only Isaiah is no longer the GM, he's no longer the coach, but Isaiah cannot have any contact with any of the players he brought into this Knicks organization. So basically, they've got a restraining order against Isaiah Thomas. But dude is still pulling a paycheck. So Zeke, he might be the smartest man in the NBA because he's getting paid to do nothing. Yeah, I want that job. I'm KC James, and this is Sports Talk Live, and we are going to be here all throughout the NBA playoffs, breaking it down for you and giving you the 411, because you know how we do it. And if you don't know, you better ask somebody. We'll see you next time.